Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with another project for my holiday series 2020, and today I'm going to be creating this sweet little 12 by 12 project for my scrapbooking album, and I'm going to be working with this really adorable 4 by 3 photograph that I've printed in black and white, and I'm going to just use my Tim Holtz decal edge trimmer to trim off a little bit of that white border that's around the edge, and it's just going to create this really interesting little edging on my photo. Now this photograph is a photo of a friend's little boy, and I am working on creating some scrapbooking pages for her as a gift. And this is just the sweetest little photo of her little guy. He's dressed up in a little elf suit, and it's got a little caption on it there. Absolutely love this photo. I'm just varying on the blade where I'm actually cutting that photo, just because that varies the shape of that edging. And when I'm all finished that, I'm ready to go to my 12 by 12 paper. Now I wanted to keep this photo kind of over to the right edge and sort of in the center and create a horizontal line in that area. So I'm working on some Basil Avalanche white cardstock. I'm not going to use really much water or anything on this layout, so I didn't treat it with any gesso or anything. And I'm just going in with my Honeybee Stamps blending brush and some Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just creating a little bit of that really pretty light blue. And now I'm just going to go with my Distress Spritzer, and I'm just going to tap on a little bit of water. I'll roll across that with my paper towel, and then you can just see it creates that really kind of sweet light background. Now this is a really beautiful stamp set from Studio Light. It's one of the Grunge series stamp sets. I will leave a list of all of the products I'm using down below. I really love this because it's just got all of these really interesting shapes and textures. There's some text, and I wanted to use some of this on my project today in some of the areas here. So you're going to see me applying this stamp to a block, and then I'm going to use some ink to stamp out some of these images. I'm going to use some gold ink and also some VersaFine Clair in Morning Mist, and I'm going to stamp some of these images out like I said. So this one here that I'm stamping out is a text. It's kind of a scripty looking text, and I'm stamping it in some gold ink. And then I'm going to put a series of circles and then kind of like a little bit of sort of more of a solid center in it. And I'm going to stamp that out with the VersaFine Clair Morning Mist. And I'm going to do some second and third generation stamping here. I didn't want this to be too dark, just because this is a pretty light and soft layout. I just wanted a little impression of the circle. Now I'm going to be using one of the dies from Studio Light as well. And look at this beautiful intricate piece that you get with this die. Once again, I will leave a list of the products I've used in the description box below if you want to find any of these. And the all of these different Studio Light products are numbered rather than they don't have names, they just have numbers. So the cool thing about this die too is it cuts out this sort of like this centerpiece separately, and I'm going to layer those on the layout. Now I'm going to be working with the Felicity Jane Coco kit and collection. If you have not seen this yet, I'm going to do a quick flip through of the papers from the Coco kit. This is just an absolutely gorgeous kit. I totally love it. There's so many really beautiful colors and different images on these different papers. Totally am in love with this kit. It's so beautiful. And so typical to Felicity Jane, you do get this paper that has the strip that shows you all of the different pattern papers that are in the kit, and it's gorgeous. And of course it is a Christmassy themed, and I love the color palette. It just works beautifully with what I wanted to create here. So I chose 3 papers that I want to use primarily on this layout. Love this diagonal plaid. I think it's so pretty. Just want to tear a bit of a strip off of this. If you get really sad when people tear paper, don't watch. I'm going to do a little bit of paper tearing here, not much. I just wanted to use a little bit of those pattern papers at the top. So tearing a little strip off, I'm just going to roll the edge on that torn strip. Notice how I tore the paper so that the white edge of the white core of the paper is showing on the top of the paper. And I did that with each of those 3 pieces. Now I am going to also use that Christmas tree paper through the photograph horizontally there. You're going to just see me working with that. I wanted to use a little bit of that extra paper that I tore off of the one of the top papers there. I'm going to use the opposite side of that, the pink side on the bottom. So I just cut a strip of this Christmas tree paper, and I'm just going to fishtail or banner end the one end. I'm going to just fold that little strip in half, create the little cut there, and then the two little diagonal cuts to create a little banner. I'm going to use that again as just a holding place for that little photo of this sweet little elf. And just going to kind of get this all organized and figure out sort of generally where I want to put things. I do want to use another strip of paper at the bottom, so I thought I'll use this manufacturer strip off that one paper there with the houses on it and just have that little bit of red at the bottom with that pink. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stuck down at the bottom. And then I will adhere that other strip over top of that, and that just finishes that lower edge. I like how that looks. And I'm going to start getting those torn pieces at the top all stuck down here using my Coco repositionable tape runner here. And just going to go ahead and get those in place, and then I will continue on with working on the rest of the layout. So I just really love the combination of those patterns at the top. I love that floral in the center. I love how the blue of that floral is just the same color as a speckled egg. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and glue down these really intricate die cut pieces that I created. I think these almost kind of look a little bit like snowflakes too, just so I thought that was kind of like interesting and a little bit wintry as well. And I'm going to pop up that center cut piece there, put that in the center of those pieces, and then adhere with some glue dots, those really pretty little gold stars. Now those gold stars do come from the ephemera pack. That's part of the Coco kit. You can actually purchase if they're still in stock. I did not check today when I'm doing this voiceover, but the ephemera pack and all of the different little bits are sold separately. Now I did pop that Christmas tree paper up on some foam adhesive, and you can see that I've layered that over top of that diagonal red plaid underneath it, just to create some layers in that same pattern paper that I've used in other areas. Now I'm taking a little piece of vellum that has some gold foil dots. I have fishtailed the end of that. Going to layer that over top of the Christmas trees. I'm creating a little bit of a photo mat for my sweet little photo here with some green cardstock from the Coco kit. And now I just wanted to use one of the stamps from the Coco stamp set that's also part of that Coco kit. I'm using the sentiment "This is Happiness," and I'm going to stamp that out on one of the die cut label pieces that's part of the die cut pack in Coco. I am going to stamp that out using some StazOn ink because those die cut pieces do have a little bit of a shiny coating on them. It is kind of like a little bit matte, but there's definitely a coating, and I just wanted to use StazOn because I know that that's going to stamp well on this type of cardstock. I love how that looks, and I'm going to just create a kind of like a little cluster area with more of the die cuts from Coco in that little bottom area, using a few bits of foam adhesive to pop some of the things up to layer them down in that area. And that's going to be my finished project. I love how this turned out. It's so sweet, and I had so much fun creating this. I did add some gold splatters with some Heidi Swap color shine at the end, and you'll be able to see that in the still shots, and I've left a bunch of still shots here at the end of the video. If you want to stay tuned right to the very end, you will see all of those close-up shots of this layout. I love how this turned out. I had so much fun creating it. Please make sure you check the links in the description box below for more information about this project today. Have an amazing day, everybody. Stay safe, stay well. I will see you soon for another holiday project here on my channel. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.